We're going to spend time talking about the AJ Armstrong case. Antonio AJ Armstrong Jr. is back in the spotlight this morning. A new documentary will be released on AJ and the 3 trials he faced before he was convicted for killing his mother and father, Don and Antonio Sr. KPRC 2 reporter Rilwan Balogun was one of the members who embedded himself on the last trial and was the only reporter to speak exclusively to AJ since being convicted behind bars. Rilwan, thank you so much for waking up extra early, joining us this morning on the morning show. Talk to us about this new documentary.
Yeah, so A&E documentarians have been following AJ through all of these 3 trials for the last few years. We saw them at the 3rd trial here. They were with us working through the whole process. So they had more intimate closeness with the family. They were following them around at their home day to day, talking exclusively with AJ while he was going through all of this court case stuff. Because there was a gag order, so we can talk to him about any of the stuff in the trial, but they had better insights. And so that's going to be the whole crux, the focus, of this new documentary that comes out.
That releases tonight. Have you had the opportunity to talk to AJ about this documentary?
No. Not about it's being released. During the time while it was happening, I just kind of would talk with him like, so what are your thoughts on all of this that's going on right now? Things like that, things he could say. I know the family is very happy that this will be out there because they think this will help support them in what they've said for a long time, that AJ didn't commit these crimes. So they're hoping this will bring more attention to it and their needs.
Walk us through, from where we are today, let's go backwards. So after the conviction, you did have the opportunity to speak to him behind bars. Bring us up to speed. How long after that conviction was that conversation you had with him, and where's his head at today?
So we talked, conviction was around August. We talked to him near November,
almost
December.
A year already.
We're almost right at the year mark of when the trial started and when everything wrapped up. So from that point of conviction to when we spoke to him in prison, he was just trying to accommodate to everything going on. I haven't spoken to him directly since he's been in prison, but his family members and friends that keep me in contact with what's going on, how he's been doing in prison. He was on a basketball team in prison. They had a tournament recently. The family sharing that their team won. He's hosts or leads the choir, the church choir in prison right now. So that's something he was doing while he was out because his family, very religious. His dad was a former pastor, also a former professional football player. So, and they were very close with God or are close with God. So it doesn't shock me that he leads the choir in prison.
He has a wife. He has a young child. Are they able to visit him? Do we know?
Yeah. So the family have been able to get out there. It is a haul, so they are not able to get there every day as they would love to. They would love to see him as much as possible, but we understand that when there is time and that they can schedule it all around, that they have been able to see him there.
Okay, so let's talk about the sketches we have here. I know this was a big part of our coverage, right? For the 3rd trial, we called that the bench, and this was an opportunity for you to, as we mentioned, embed with this case and really bring us inside the courtroom, a space where cameras were not allowed.
Right, so this was hard for us. We're a TV station. We're all about TV, bringing
this
people.
This is our platform, our medium.
Exactly, so we quickly knew that the judge wasn't allowing cameras in, so we had to quickly get creative to bring the case to everyone at home because people were so captivated and had opinions and thoughts about this case itself. So first thing we did, we hired a sketch artist to try and bring the visuals to the audience. As you can see, this was for multiple days of testimony. We hired that artist who was able to bring some of those testimonies and the evidences to the foreground so people could see it themselves, since again, we couldn't be out there. We were using props. We were getting creative to bring this trial to people at home, and we heard good things that people liked the way we were doing this. They felt like we were giving them the most we could, or all we could, because this was the best way I think we've ever covered a case in this way.
Oh, it was extremely captivating, a little nerve-wracking. I remember coming in at 6 a.m. and getting scripts to memorize, to walk and talk, and it was tough. It was challenging for me because unlike you were there, and so it was tough to wrap my mind around it. But it was so. It was instrumental in conveying to us and to the rest of the Houston community, really the country, because this captivated so many people across the U.S. On really what was happening. This was the third trial. I remember the staircase, right? When they brought in the staircase, that was a big moment.
Big day in court. So the staircase is when they brought in props trying to form a staircase where prosecutors said this is where AJ, or saying his story didn't add up to what he was saying, that he saw this other perpetrator who committed the crimes. It was saw them rolling it in. We were all like, what's happening here?
Yeah, right.
What are they about to do here? But it was prosecutors using props to try to enforce or better support their theory of the case.
Yeah. So moving forward, tonight is the release, as we talked about. What happens with AJ from here? Where do things stand today?
So his family is still trying to raise money to get transcripts. They need the transcripts. They have an appellate attorney because they're still trying to fight. They maintain AJ's innocence. AJ maintains his innocence. When we spoke with him during that jailhouse interview, I pressed him like, hey, you've been convicted. A jury of your peers said you did this. Just tell us what you did. And he said, I didn't do this, Rilwan. I didn't do this. And so I think they're still raising roughly $13,000 for the transcripts. And from there, they're going to try and move forward with the process, which attorneys have told us that appeals like this are difficult, but they're going to keep fighting.
Yeah, and I know too, this conversation that you had with him among your entire coverage led to the documentary we created, Sinner or Saint.
Yeah, so that's with the Sinner or Saints. Really fascinating interview. We got that shortly after everything wrapped up. Exclusive interview with the family, the attorneys, prosecutors, defense team on both sides spoke with us because they saw our coverage with the bench and they knew we'd just share the case, share the facts, and let the audience decide what they will. And because that, we will have a rerunning of it tonight along with the AJ Armstrong interview that starts here at 6:30 tonight.
Okay, and I think we have a little snippet of that, right, John?
The 911 call when you're trying to get your sister, and prosecutors said you went straight to your sister's room, you didn't check in your parents' room. Why didn't you open the door to your parents' room?
I did not want to see my parents in the state that I feared they might be in. And my biggest focus was, I need to get my little sister out of this house, and I need to make sure she's okay. And we will find out let the police come in and do what they need to do and give us the information about my parents. But my sister was my biggest worry. It's my little sister. She not only lost her parents that night, but I was put in jail. My brother wasn't doing well. She's just, she's put with my grandparents, and nobody deserves that, what she had to go through.
Wow.
Yeah, that's AJ. They're talking about his sister, Kira. As you can see, we will re-air the Sinner or Saints, the Evidence Room special tonight, along with the AJ interview and the story tonight on KPRC 2+ at 6:30.
Hey, I want to ask you before I let you go. I know a big part of these trials, especially this third one, was DNA, right?
Yeah.
I'm hearing possibly more issues again?
Yeah, some news came out that we reported first. KPRC 2 Investigates reported about a month ago that the Harris County Forensic Science Center fired one of the operators because of how they handled a number of evidence in cases. So this one of those cases that the DA's office is now reviewing includes AJ's case, but the DA's office maintains that this didn't compromise any of their cases, but they are reviewing a number of them, including AJ's and one of Migos rapper Takeoff's murder.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we will be waiting, we will be watching, and I know you will be staying on top of this for us. Rilwan, thank you so much. Again, tonight there are 2 encore presentations of the Evidence Room, Sinner or Saint, and the AJ Armstrong interview that begins at 6:30 right here on KPRC 2+. Rilwan, again, thank you so much.